Welcome, Brandon. You have clicked the link and come to my virtual write-up. A brief history of early mass communication presented in a modern medium. The Internet. Now please change your YouTube settings to HD for a better experience. I will give you 10 seconds. Humans have through all times felt a need to tell stories and keep them for the afterworld. Ever since languages and the oral culture was developed 200,000 years ago. Then there came a need to keep more detailed, permanent, accessible records. Cave paintings, or petroglyphs, have been dated back as early as 64,000 years ago. Maybe the first cave painting was a caveman named Bruno, checking in to his cave after a good hunt. Just like people today, check in on different places on social media to make others aware of what good life they live. Maybe Bruno painted some delicious looking carvings of the meat he was having for dinner. Maybe it would have sounded something like this. Bruno just checked in to this awesome cave. With him he brought 2 newly killed deers he impaled with his spear he made from flint this morning. We will probably never know, so that's why I'm gonna leave Bruno in his cave and fast forward further in time. Over 60,000 years later, writing developed. First in present-day Iraq and a few hundred years later in both Egypt and China. People could now read the stories others have written down. Writing is, according to me, probably the most awesome invention of all times. Writing has since been the main source of communication. Egyptians wrote on papyrus. The native people in what we now call Minnesota used birch bark, and the Vikings of Scandinavia wrote their stories on rune stones. Everyone to share their stories and knowledge. Even though books were somewhat common even in the Middle Ages, Gutenberg's printing machine in the 1400s made it possible to mass-produce the information. And mass communication was born. After that, mass communication developed fast. Only 24 years after Gutenberg's invention, the first book with advertisement was printed. In the century to come, printing books and pamphlets increased more, and in the early 1600s, the first newspapers came to Europe. The production of newspapers and books spread over the world and grows in production, and in 1844, Samuel Morse sets the first telegraph line. Now, information could travel faster than ever before. While Italian innovator Antonio Meucci is credited with inventing the first basic phone in 1849, Alexander Graham Bell won the first US patent for the device in 1876. Bell had financial backers who gave him the best business plan for bringing the telephone to the market. I would say he was more lucky than poor guy Gutenberg. In 1877, Thomas Edison presented the first record player, the phonograph. And now sound recording was possible. This invention, even though much improved over time, still entertained people across the world every day. By the end of the 1800th century, photographic film and radio was also invented, still sensationalizing the world today. Radio was for a long time, before TV came, a medium that gathered families together in their homes, listening to programs, theater, news, and other kinds of entertainment. I remember my mom telling me how she loved gathering in front of the radio when she was a child. And I can imagine the feeling of closeness to your loved ones sitting there together, listening to the radio. Just like when a parent read a book to a child, but radio was entertainment for everyone. And then, as we all know, TV and video came to our homes. But I think that is another story, for future classes this semester, and for another paper write-up. It took 65,000 years from the first written symbols to the printing press, but since then, humans have excelled themselves over and over again. Within 600 years, we have gone from mass-printed Bibles to mass-produced media everywhere you look. From printed pages with images in a book, and today this assignment. Printed words recorded to a sound file, accompanied with images in a video, and uploaded for you to enjoy on the internet.